guys. Hi guys, this is the advisor and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm putting on my lifestyle and wellness cap, and I'm going to respond to, this is a letter that I had actually gotten about 3 years ago that I had responded to on my The Advisor column in Facebook, but I've never carried it over into on my YouTube channel. So I listened to this piece of advice because it's about human nature and how humans react or should be reacting to a specific situation. And I'm quite sure that there are a lot of women who can relate to this. And if you have never been there, listen to this and learn so that it never happens to you. This is going to show you what red flags exist out there and how to identify it. All right? Now, this letter, it actually come from right here in Jamaica. I got from over the world, but this one is right here in Jamaica. It says, I have been in a relationship with a man for the past 9 months and I have some concerns. I'm not quite sure how to take it, but let me know if it is worth worrying about. He's a very generous man and he treats me well. Anything I need, he tries his best to provide it for me. But here is the problem. He does not give me much privacy. For example, he will call me at work to know where I am and when I might be going for lunch. He goes on my social media page and monitor my post. And if someone makes any comment that seems to him to not be to his liking, he would confront me with it. He also thinks he has all right to answer my phone. At first I tried to resist, but just to prove that I had nothing to hide, I allowed him to do so. Another thing is that I am very close to my mother and I used to see her every week. She lives about 2 miles away. But since being with him, he gets upset that I go see her so often. He does not like any of my friends either. For example, there were some girls that I used to go to university with and we were having an informal reunion at a sports bar in New Kingston, and I told him about it. I told him also that it was an all-girl affair. He moped and sulked so much for the next 2 weeks leading up to the event that I eventually decided not to go. I just couldn't understand his concerns. Otherwise, he's great. He's even encouraging me to quit my job and go into my own business. He would put up all the funding and lay all the foundational work for me. Despite his quirky ways, I don't want to give him up because he is so generous and progressive and had such great plans for me. What I need to know is there anything I could do to make him become more outgoing, sociable, and to trust me more? Well, that was the letter. Now, I'm going to deal with the last question first. And the last question she asked was, is there anything I could do to make him become more outgoing, sociable, and to trust me more? And the short answer is no. Full stop, no. You will never, ever be able to let this man trust you. It cannot happen. It is inside his very DNA. It is part of his makeup. Men who don't trust women, it is part of their makeup. It will never happen. They will never learn to trust. This man is extremely suspicious of everything you make, of everything you do. Not only that, remember, you said he's generous, and you're looking at that as a positive, but believe me, him being generous is not because he's altruistic in his thinking. No, his being generous is a form of manipulation. It's a means to an end. What he really wants to do is to control you. And he feels that the subtle way to control you is by giving you whatever you need. Because if he gives you what you need, you would be more prone to submitting to his will. So, in other words, this is not a relationship based on the important things like love and trust and appreciation and respect. It is a relationship because you are more or less his BEACH that he is paying for. And he's paying for your loyalty. He's buying your loyalty. He's buying your commitment and he's buying your love. That is, of course, if you can ever love somebody like this. He is a control freak, and instead of beating you up in order to get you to succumb to his will, he gives you things. So he's giving you things to manipulate you into doing his will. And it doesn't stop there. It's going to go further, and it's going to go a lot further. What he's going to do eventually, you said something about him, him wanting you to give up your job. But don't give up your job. Don't let him spend any money at all to start any business that you are going to partake in. Do not partake in any business with him. Once you leave your job, one of the first things you're going to find, is that if you should leave your job, he just might not start the business. Because what he wants, he will never try to, he would never be able to have full control of you if you are actually working and can stand on your own 2 feet. Men like these, they want to control you, and one of the aspects of control that they use over you is finances. And if you have your own finances and you can finance your own self, they have less control because they can decide. These men want to decide when you eat, when you drink, when you wear, and how you are sheltered, because that is what gives them control, and that is what gives them, that is what makes them function, to have a woman that is there today, all their whims and passions. Right? So you're actually having a job. I don't know what kind of work you do, but you're having a job and earning your own salary is not going down well with him. So I think that he might be trying to start a business, but quite likely he's not really trying to start a business. He would put up some money up front to get something going, but wanted to quit from now, and he would then maybe sabotage the business, let it fail, carry up, put you to sit down at his home so he can lock you in. And when I say lock you in, I mean that literally he may put the lock on the door and on the gate when you are going out. Any man who takes your phone, any man who answers your phone is not a good man. Once a man answers your phone, he is not a good man. And I stand by that. A man should never answer a woman's phone. As a matter of fact, nobody should answer anybody's phone. Your phone is a personal thing, just like your toothbrush. And nobody should disrespect anybody by answering their phone. And he is now making you look like you are the bad guy, because he's saying if you didn't have anything to hide, then you wouldn't pay, then you would allow him to answer the phone if you have nothing to hide. That is switching the buck back to you, and that is evil, because he's trying to make you look like the bad guy. I know you're bad, but you don't know you're bad, so listen, I have to monitor you. He's making you look like the bad guy when he is the freak. Don't fall for it. Any man who would make you feel guilty because you need the privacy of your own phone calls, that person is evil. What we have to understand, is that in life, nobody is responsible for anybody's happiness. This man is making you responsible for his happiness, and how you are responsible. As long as he can take control of you, he will be happy. But you would need to give up your life, your entire life, for this man and be what he wants. Sooner or later, as soon as you stop working, one of the things he's going to tell you to do is when you can leave the house from when you can't leave the house. He's going to start telling you what you can wear from what you should never wear, and so on and so forth. Those things are going to come. And another thing, your mother. Your mother raised you and grew you up from a child coming up. I assume you didn't say, but assuming that, but this is your mother, and you go see your mother once a week. You just drive over, maybe go and see her, maybe spend an hour or two, whatever. And this man is telling you that you're seeing your mother too often, once a week. Really? Now, here is the thing, and you've got to understand about these control freaks. One of the things they do in order to control you fully is to isolate you. He's not going to want you seeing your mother often, because anybody that is in your life who you may take any form of influence from, he sees as a threat, which includes the very own woman who birthed you. He's going to see her as a threat. And therefore, he is going to do whatever he can to ensure that you stop going to see her. And this also goes for your friends. You see, your friends that you were going to the function with, he doesn't trust you. He feels you're going there with some man. And I can tell you that. He feels you're meeting up a man there, or you're going somewhere else. So what he's trying to do is he'll move and go about and think, because he wants to be there so he can watch you. Nothing more than he just wants to watch you, to see what you're up to, because he does not trust you. He will never trust you, and he'll never trust himself. He is just a sick individual. And hear what you do? Just pull out. Stop taking gifts from him, and you're going to see a different side of him. When he's offering to pay your rent or pay any bills or do anything, tell him don't bother. You know, and try to work things on your own. Start weaning yourself off him slowly, and if you're at a place where you can move away from, it does not. I don't know the things you said. He looks after you financially and so on, and I don't know how much he gives you or what, but whatever he's giving you, it is not worth it, because you're simply selling your soul, and you're selling out your own self, and you are denying yourself the happiness and dignity and respect that you need. Don't do it. Pull out over the next few weeks. Just pull out and just leave. But in the interim, stop taking his things. See, when you stop taking his things, one of the first things he's going to start saying is, a new man you find. I can predict that. He's going to say, you find new man now. Somebody else give you things, so you don't want my things. Because remember, he does not trust you. He never will trust you. And he'll always think that it's somebody else you have at all times, ever till the day you die. So run, and run fast and run far. And keep him as far away as you can. Okay? Take my advice. Guys, like, share, leave a comment below. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video.